Actually, I thought it was wireless. It's not wireless, but I like it because it runs off the USB cord, and they give you such a long cord that it actually is the length that I need. The other one still works, but it's the plastic's starting to break, and it's like one away from like completely having one of the earphones fall off. Because it's got, it's got a fork type of thing to it, and one of the forks is broken, and the other fork is about ready to break off. So, um, I was just gonna use them until they break, but I kind of changed some things up, and I was like, well, let's try the new ones out. Like, the other ones don't owe me anything. I've had them for 2, 3 years. It didn't even ask. I had my farm sim game crash twice today, and I lost both of those
Well,
saves.
this is like it crashes trying to get into the.
Well, I know, but I'm seeing because of I think because so they had two updates in the last 2 weeks, and I know not all the mods are fixed from the first update, and I think there was some mod conflicts and whatever, and then had some other things happen, and I'm like ended up losing. I ended up losing the one map twice, and I finally got to a point I'm like frustrated with it. I didn't want to start over again, so I switched to another map, and I ended up losing a game save on it.
Loading map. %. So I don't know. I'm trying to deal. Don't know how to know.
It will send out.
How,
It should send out the one I've seen Gold do. It sends
yeah,
out two separate videos.
free stream. I don't. God, it's and I again been thinking about. That I might just sort of abandon doing. free stream and abandon doing it. I'm not intending to grow on. I just more or less, well, maybe like garage stream like this.
Nope.
Like I can set up vertical. I don't know. On the wrong.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I might just start just direct to you, like whatever Restream does.
I can't even get my Restream to reattach. I'm sure I could if I really worked at it, but I've tried. I can't get it to reattach. But
I guess it's just because I want to be going live on Shorts. I figure that's probably where it might get promoted a little better in the Shorts feed. I guess I'm not sure how YouTube does live. I mean, I probably shouldn't be doing it on the channel.
you should really look in. I think Gold kind of stopped doing them, but you should really look back at like a couple months ago when Gold was doing them. Because you'd see the same stream twice, but one of them was vertical and one was normal.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. The little toggle is off, even though I have the settings set up so that my stream defaults. But of course, that's the part I'm not understanding. I have the see. I'm not going. That's the thing. Restream is telling you if I'm going live. I am not clicking the button go. That's where that happens. That's why I think playing that. I mean, I could go back to my second channel. Probably would, but it's not like I get much viewership. But I should look into that motocross game. Maybe try and do something. But I just feel like my audience doesn't back for, they're not here to just, they find me because of the how-to part.
They might like the game that I suggested.
Well, maybe, but see, my demographics are our age, and so they probably don't watch games.
Yeah.
Like if I look at my demographics, Like it's not the highest, but it's higher than the young kid. 65 plus is second highest versus like the 35 to 5 or something. I'd have to look
Yeah.
accurate. Tractor must. Yours pull the hill.
No, mine the slant isn't as steep over here. For some reason, the way they made the hill, that side of things is a lot worse. Because I bought identical tractors and everything.
Well, that's what I thought, but it seemed like you were gaining on. Yeah, I guess.
Yeah,
I guess now that I look at it, it is steeper. It is kind of steep.
And I don't know. You probably don't use cruise control, and I use cruise control.
What's the difference if I'm holding the button?
Probably nothing.
Well, anyway, I got back from the. That's why Alan.
Yeah.
Out and that gets over at 8.
But we didn't have to stream tonight. I just.
Well, I kind of wanted to if I felt like we don't have to go for like a long time, but I kind of wanted to just to see how 2 nights or something.
I couldn't figure out what the flash. So I kept seeing flashing out of the corner of my eyes, and I couldn't figure out what it was. Well, these earphones have the JBLs on the side
Or
are
they light
LEDs,
up.
and they light up and they flash, and they're bright enough that they bounce off the walls and stuff. It's like, what the heck is flashing out of the corner of my eyes? And then I just realized it's because the earphones are flashing.
Yeah.
Yeah, these are going to be a little bit of an adjustment, but I think they'll be I think they're gonna be. Think they're gonna be worth it. I think they're a nice upgrade.
I don't use my headphones that much. I mean, I could now, but I have speakers, and then with the way my microphone noise gate is, I don't need that to. So
Yeah.
And you don't get feedback, so. Oh, well, a little bit of news heard. Well, Discord kind of made a statement about their policy, kind of all the age verification, because I guess they had kind of a I mean, not a given, but it probably won't affect we users like us. I mean, not a given, but I guess they kind of had a bit of a mass exodus of had kind of a mass exodus of their like their paid subscribers.
Oh yeah.
But they did sort of release a little bit more about it, which is more ever capitulate to anybody who says, "Oh, we need ID." This is because third parties that do the verification and store the data and data breach away from. But anyway, so might not really worry about it. Might not even have.
Yeah. I was thinking about places, groups that I'm in, like EOS, how that would affect them, because everything is built into Discord. Like they built their platform on Discord, and
Well, I mean, it's just more like they'll could lose users. But what kind of, and this is opinion here, but probably what the deal is if like if you're, and I'm not, and I probably you aren't, but like if like a server that you part of has kind of NSW content or a a channel or whatever they call it, it that might prompt a age verified if they in a server that has that kind of content, or it's probably if you were frequent stuff, that might be a flag in there. So we better make sure this isn't. They are whatever. So I mean, again, have to see, but that's the thing. Communities that have maybe stuff like that, and it isn't so much child stuff. It's just if maybe like I said, not safe for work. Which what is that? So right, active in there, but like I said, that probably shouldn't affect us or. But it'll be interesting. The fact that they're. Well, it's kind of like you see, like Nebraska has inflation. Here's the thing: it's like, okay, well, how is it done? I mean, how are sites to do it
Okay, I
and
got you a tractor. I'm getting the seeder now.
reliably do it, and where is that stuff?
When we get to the
Oh, okay.
when we get to the field, you'll have to let me in for a sec.
But I doubt it'll be much of a issue for farm simulator type. Again, they're probably some of the most chill ones on the internet.
Yeah.
Like Steam. I think do a little bit of a might sit down and go through my digital files for at least get them into folders of for like our our watch party. Kind of get that started, planned. But oh, that reminds me. Do you remember? Don't, because it kind of depends on when you had. Well, you never had cable, but you had dish. Kind of depends. Because you remember it was like, I guess you could call it like a game show. Actually, a game show, but more like Double Dare, but without the game, without the trivia part, I guess.
Okay, you need to change it to, I think it's barley. Let me look.
Yeah, I'm on wheat.
Yes. Need to change it to. And then this field
barley,
to our,
you said?
Yep. And then this field to our left is the one that needs to be planted.
Anyway, it was I guess you'd call it a game show where it was kids well, it was like a racing like with ATVs and motorcycles and those 6x6 kind of amphibious Argos, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay. They kind of steer like
a tank.
Stick. Anyway.
Yeah.
Well, right. Yeah. Geez, it's picky.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm right here. But anyway, it's called Maximum Drive. Popped in my head the other day, and
For
Although
some reason, the name sounds familiar, but I don't remember the show.
Okay, well, and
maybe you've talked about it before.
well, no, but popped in my head, and I'm not sure why. I guess I was reading something. Well, it was because I was reading something about like Double Dare, or those kind of shows of that era, and I was like, "What?" There's a race, it's like kids racing, and they were, like between the ages of like 12 and 14, maybe 15, but no more than 16. But anyway, I couldn't remember, so I just kind of Googled that and found what the name. It was called Maximum Drive, and actually the episodes are on YouTube. And I watched one or two last night, showed in Kate, and it's wild that they. It was filmed at Universal Studios, like on the back lot, because that was another thing I remembered. It was, it's like from Universal Studios Hollywood, and I couldn't remember the name, but oh yeah, and it had like jet skis too. But that'd be one we could kind of watch party. Although the thing is, you kind of sort of need sound. That one get to. Anyway, that might be another idea for a party thing, but yeah, it's called Maximum Drive. It was on the Family Channel, which was before.
Oh well, that would be.
It was before ABC bought it out, too. So this show was only. Well, and this is why I guess why I even bring it up. Wild because, I remember it. I remember it well. Just didn't remember the name. But it was only one season, and I forget how many episodes. One season for 1 year, basically one summer, and I'm sure it didn't run in syndication. And I happened to watch it, or like I said, it stuck in my head probably because of. Well, really, the Argos is what made me, because they, in the course and stuff, they had mud holes and stuff they had to go through. One was, and even this pond where they did the jet skiing, they even had to go out in there and go around a buoy. They actually had to float it, drive it, and whatnot. But yeah, family, like the Family Channel or Fam TV, I guess maybe it was before. I remember watching like old game shows. Let's make it the old Let's Make. I think it had things like House on the Prairie. I mean, I knew that was when we very first got cable, had that channel, and guessing I'd forgotten it was on the Family Channel. For some reason, even though we never had Nick, but it just seemed like it should have been like a Nickelodeon type of show,
Oh.
But it wasn't.
Well, it seems to me like maybe I saw a commercial for it then or something. I don't know.
I suppose if I showed you a picture, or you just saw even a clip, so maybe if you think about it, just YouTube it up. You'll either remember it or it'll be like, oh yeah, I remember something, or you won't, because it's. I just say it's very unique, I guess.
Yeah.
Well, I tell you what, this is why you need to at least watch an episode or part of an episode, because
what's it called again?
It's called Maximum Drive.
Okay.
Well, anyway, maybe I'll text it to you. I'll try to remember.
I'm gonna Google it YouTube.
Well, anyway,
search it right now.
When you watch it, and here's the thing: it'll totally remind you of Rapid Turnover. And actually, it's kind of silly because one of the, and they do different races each episodes. Not always do they have the jet ski. Not always do they have this kind of course and that kind of course. Kind of change it up, but and it's different kids or teens, I guess you'd say, every episode. But it reminds me of Rapid Turnover. Even one part where they have to park the bike and go over a mat and like stuff, and then get on the ATV, go and make lap, and then go and then hop in the Argo. And there's even like a relay race type deal where, hey, they got to take the goggles from over here and then give it to their teammate, and then they're off, and a glove, and like.
I
Anyway,
must have just seen a commercial of it because I
okay,
don't remember the show.
yeah, like I said, if you've seen it, you'd remember it because again, it's pretty unique, and of course this was later, but on Nickelodeon, I guess there's a. We didn't have Nickelodeon, and it was a little after out of my demographic. But Legends of the Hidden Temple. I had heard about it, but I was too old. But
Legends of a what?
Legends of the Hidden Temple is kind of a trivia and like, well, like think of a Double Dare, but it's kind of like, I mean, the set and some of the physical challenge, I guess you'd call it, was I think kind of like Indiana Jones, sort of Raiders of stuff. Like, I guess kids, well, younger than us, solid millennials, like totally remember this show. I remember seeing a commercial for it, but it was something that like more of a mid '90s thing rather than late '80s or. But anyway, this again, this was kind of like Double Dare, only with like motorcycles and stuff. And I mean, they're going pretty fast and all that stuff. It's like, I don't know if you could make the show today just with all the I mean, probably liabilities back then too, because they just had hay bales. I mean, again, watch an episode and it'll totally remind you of Rapid, when we did Rapid Turnover, because it's kind of filmed sort of like that.
Hmm.
Really hyped up, and I don't know, they have teams and prizes.
Yeah.